Messines Ridge was a strategic high point long coveted by Allied commanders desperate to break through German lines. For months, engineers had tunnelled deep below the ridge, laying hundreds of tons of explosives. In the early hours of June 7th, the fuse was lit and the explosion was heard in London and Paris. But it was the sacrifice of men from the 36th Ulster and 16th Irish Divisions, Ulster Loyalists and Southern Nationalists fighting side by side for the first time, that created a rare symbol, co-opted decades later during the Irish peace process. Today, the Taoiseach joined British and Belgian royalty at the Island of Ireland Peace Park, inaugurated the year the Good Friday Agreement was signed. This was a solemn commemoration. Unseasonably strong winds failed to drown out the poetry of Francis Ledwidge or the letter from Lieutenant Michael Wall to his mother Teresa 2 days before the offensive.
It's regrettable, particularly from an Irish perspective, that over the course of our years since our independence, we did not reflect fully. We did not give a sufficient prominence to those of the Irish division and other divisions, my own Leinster division.
On a final emotional trip as Taoiseach, Enda Kenny also visited the grave of nationalist MP Willie Redmond, wounded by shrapnel but rescued by a Protestant soldier before he died of his wounds.
The symbolism of Willie Redmond being carried by a unionist member of the Ulster Regiment down to the local convent and the dressing station, meeting the relatives here today and the stories that have emerged and are still emerging. Every child in our country should understand the significance of what happened in World War I.
The Battle of Messines lasted for 7 days, and although it was hailed as a great Allied victory, it came at a cost of 17,000 casualties, with 25,000 on the German side. But its legacy remains a powerful unifying symbol for two traditions on the island of Ireland. It's also an intensely personal experience for families who have summoned up, through fragments of letters, the lives of distant relatives who died young in the terrible slaughter, men like James Stevenson of the Enniskillen Fusiliers.
They took a great interest in what I had to say to them. They looked at Joseph's medals and there again took great interest in my explanation of what they were for, etc. And it just meant so much to me. This day I will never forget.
It's unlikely that anyone will forget the compelling and unthinkable calamity the First World War became, not least for its enduring influence on the island of Ireland. Tony Connelly, RTE News, Messines Ridge.